Days of Our Lives recap, November 13th heartbreak, mysteries, and unraveling secrets in Salem. Hello, devoted fans of Days of Our Lives. Welcome back to TV Days Drama Digest, your ultimate source for all the juicy, heart-wrenching, and edge-of-your-seat moments from Salem's most iconic soap opera. It's us, your passionate team here at the channel, diving deep into the drama that unfolded on today's episode November 13th. If you've missed the broadcast or just can't get enough of the twists and turns, you're in the right place. We've got the full scoop, packed with every emotional beat, shocking revelation, and simmering tension that made this episode a rollercoaster ride. And remember, if you wanted to relive the magic or the mayhem visually, head over to our recap video for all the highlights. But stick around here as we expand on the stories, peeling back the layers to explore the characters' inner turmoil, the high-stakes decisions, and the dramatic fallout that's sure to echo through future episodes. Today's installment was a masterclass in soap opera storytelling, blending family reconciliations, buried memories resurfacing like ghosts from the past, covert operations that could shatter alliances, and poignant moments of grief amid celebrations. Salem, that picturesque yet perpetually turbulent town, once again proved why it's the epicenter of endless intrigue. Let's break it down storyline by storyline, starting with the ever-volatile DiMera family dynamics, where old wounds threaten to reopen just as new bonds tentatively form. Sami's bittersweet farewell, a mother's plea, and a father's redemption. We kick things off with the indomitable Sami Brady, whose presence in Salem has always been like a whirlwind, unpredictable, fierce, and impossible to ignore. In today's episode, Sami makes what she intends to be a brief cameo at the much-anticipated baby shower party, a gathering meant to celebrate new life but inevitably laced with the shadows of past conflicts. But as any longtime viewer knows, nothing in Salem is ever truly brief or uncomplicated, especially when it involves the DiMeras. Sami's time in town is drawing to a close. She's set to leave Salem once more, chasing whatever adventures or escapes her restless spirit demands. Yet, before she bids farewell to the cobblestone streets and familiar faces, fate, or perhaps the writer's penchant for dramatic irony, ensures she crosses paths with her ex-husband, E.J. DiMera. The air crackles with unresolved tension as they meet, their history a tangled web of passion, betrayal, and undying connection. Sami, ever the straight shooter, doesn't mince words. She confesses to E.J. that she's been subtly or not so subtly nudging their son, Johnny, toward reconciliation. "I tried to push Johnny to at least put up with you," she admits, her voice laced with a mix of frustration and genuine concern. It's a moment that humanizes Sami, revealing the protective mother beneath her fiery exterior. Why the push? Sami's intuition runs deep. She knows the DiMera bloodline is fraught with regrets, and she fears Johnny might one day lament severing ties with his father completely. "You'd regret it if you cut him off for good," she tells Johnny in a heartfelt aside earlier in the episode, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. It's a poignant reminder of Sami's own tumultuous relationship with her parents, and how she's vowed not to let history repeat itself with her children. Supporting Johnny in mending fences with EJ isn't just about family unity. It's about preventing the kind of soul-crushing isolation that has plagued so many in Salem. As she prepares to depart, Sami's actions speak volumes. She's leaving behind a legacy of tough love, hoping it will heal the fractures in the DiMera clan. But Sami's exit isn't without its own complications. The party buzzes with energy, laughter echoing through the decorated halls. Yet Sami's mind is elsewhere, her glance is toward the door betraying her impending goodbye. Viewers can't help but feel the weight of her decision. Salem without Sami feels a little less electric, a little more predictable. Will her words resonate with Johnny? Or will EJ's stubborn pride undo all her efforts? Only time will tell. But today's scene set the stage for potential fireworks in the episodes to come. Kat's hunting memories, unlocking the Italian enigma, and the Wuthering Heights connection. Shifting gears to one of the episode's most intriguing mysteries, we turn to Kat Green, a character whose past is as enigmatic as the foggy moors in a gothic novel. Kat's storyline today intertwines beautifully with Sami's, creating a web of coincidences that feel anything but accidental. As the party unfolds, Kat catches sight of Sami across the room, and in that instant, a floodgate of suppressed memories bursts open. It's a dramatic sequence, shot with close-ups on Kat's widening eyes and trembling hands, underscoring the psychological turmoil bubbling beneath her calm facade. Viewers will recall the earlier hospital encounter between Kat and Sami, where an inexplicable sense of familiarity hung in the air like a thick mist. "You look so familiar," Sami had mused, suggesting they might have crossed paths in some forgotten corner of their lives. Today, that vague recognition sharpens into crystal-clear recollection for Kat. In a flashback sequence that's both eerie and evocative, we're transported to an Italian medical facility, a sterile, sun-dappled clinic overlooking rolling hills, where the scent of antiseptic mingles with the faint aroma of blooming olive groves. There, amid the beeps of monitors and the hushed whispers of nurses, Kat sees Sami at the bedside of a comatose patient, none other than E.J. Demera. But the revelations don't stop there. Kat herself was a patient at the time, recovering from a devastating accident that left her physically and emotionally scarred. The details pour on Kat's mind like a torrent, the pain of her injuries, the loneliness of rehabilitation, and the small acts of kindness that sustained her. One such act? Reading aloud to fellow patients to pass the time and foster a sense of community. And the book she chose for EJ, bandaged and unrecognizable in his vulnerable state? Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, a tale of obsessive love, revenge, and haunting regrets that mirrors the Demera family's own saga in uncanny ways. Kat's confusion is palpable as she paces the room, her brow furrowed as fragments of the past reassemble. Why Wuthering Heights, she mutters to herself, the camera lingering on her face to capture every flicker of bewilderment. It all clicks. This explains the bizarre pull between Kat and EJ. The subconscious echoes of Wuthering Heights that have threaded through their interactions. EJ, swathed in bandages from head to toe after his own ordeal, was a mystery to her then, just a silent figure in need of solace. She never saw his face, never knew his name, but her voice, reciting Bronte's passionate prose, became an unwitting anchor for him during his recovery. Now, armed with this clarity, Kat is poised to confront the truth. She could explain the connection to EJ and even Sami today, bridging the gaps in their shared history. Imagine the scene, Kat approaching EJ, her voice steady despite the storm inside, revealing how she was the anonymous reader who unknowingly soothed his soul. Sami, overhearing, might react with a mix of gratitude and jealousy, classic Sami territory. The dramatic potential is off the charts. This revelation could forge unexpected alliances or ignite new rivalries. Kat's journey from confusion to empowerment is a highlight, reminding us why Days of Our Lives excels at unearthing buried secrets that reshape everything we thought we knew. Kat and Leo's clashing agendas, a comedy of errors amidst serious stakes. No episode of Days would be complete without a dash of scheming and miscommunication, and today delivers that in spades through Kat and Leo Stark. These two unlikely allies, or are they rivals, find themselves unwittingly at cross purposes as they delve into the shadowy underbelly of EJ's hospital ward escapades. The setup is ripe for tension. Both Kat and Leo are driven by a thirst for truth, but their methods and motivations create a perfect storm of confusion. Leo, with his trademark wit and penchant for drama, is hot on the trail of any scandal that could boost his gossip column or personal leverage. He's overheard whispers about EJ's shady dealings in the hospital, perhaps illicit treatments, hidden visitors, or something more sinister tied to the Demera enterprises. Kat, fresh from her memory breakthrough, shares a similar curiosity, but from a more personal angle. Understanding her own role in EJ's past could unlock doors to her identity and future in Salem. Yet, as they pursue leads independently, their plans collide in hilariously chaotic ways. Picture this: Leo sneaks into a restricted area, rummaging through files with exaggerated stealth, only for Kat to burst in moments later, searching for the same documents. Accusations fly. "What are you doing here?" Leo hisses, clutching a folder like a prized possession. Kat, equally startled, retorts, "I could ask you the same." Their conflicting agendas lead to crossed wires. Leo misinterprets Kat's intentions as sabotage, while Kat views Leo's flamboyant antics as a liability that could expose them both. The drama escalates when their bickering nearly alerts security, forcing a hasty retreat and leaving clues untapped. It's a classic Days trope: characters working toward the same goal, but undermining each other through mistrust and poor communication. Will they realize they're on the same side before it's too late? Or will this rift allow EJ's secrets to remain buried, potentially endangering everyone involved? The episode teases more to come, with Leo's sly grin and Kat's determined glare hinting at future fireworks. Gwen's high-stakes mission, nerves of steel and the fear of exposure. Meanwhile, Gwen embodies the epitome of high-tension intrigue as she embarks on a top-secret mission, orchestrated by none other than EJ Demera. Gwen's life in Salem has been a whirlwind of reinvention, from vengeful schemes to tentative redemptions, and today's plotline thrusts her back into the shadows where she thrives yet terrifies her the most. The mission remains shrouded in mystery, but hints suggest it's tied to EJ's broader machinations, perhaps retrieving sensitive information or planting evidence to protect the Demera legacy. Gwen's nervousness is front and center. Her hands tremble as she reviews the plan, her mind racing with worst-case scenarios. "I hope I don't get caught red-handed," she confides to herself in a mirror moment that's raw and vulnerable. Carrying out EJ's orders could spell disaster not just for her, but for him too, as any slip-up might unravel his carefully constructed empire. As the party commences, EJ pulls Gwen aside, his voice a low whisper amid the festive chatter. "I trust you to handle this," he says, his eyes piercing with expectation. Gwen nods, stealing her resolve. But the camera captures her inner conflict, flashbacks to past betrayals, the sting of isolation, and the fear of losing the fragile stability she's built. She's on edge, every glance over her shoulder amplifying the paranoia. The stakes are sky high, getting caught could lead to arrests, ruined reputations, or worse, Tamara-style retribution. This storyline adds a layer of suspense to the episode, contrasting the celebratory atmosphere with Gwen's solitary peril. Will she succeed, emerging as EJ's unlikely hero? Or will her nerves betray her, leading to a dramatic unmasking? Gwen's arc is a testament to the show's ability to humanize its anti-heroes, making us root for her despite her checkered past. Will's tender comfort, bonding amid grief and ominous dreams. In a quieter but no less emotional corner of Salem, Will Horton steps up as the compassionate grandson, offering solace to his grandmother, Marlena Evans. The scene unfolds in Marlena's cozy living room, a sanctuary amid the chaos. Where Will arrives bearing a steaming cup of tea chamomile, her favorite, infused with a touch of honey for sweetness. Marlena, looking pale and weary, accepts the gesture with a weak smile. She doesn't look well, her eyes shadowed by unspoken sorrows. As they settle in, Marlena opens up about her deepest ache, missing John Black, her soulmate whose absence feels like a gaping void. He would have loved this baby shower, she murmurs, her voice cracking with emotion. The camera pans to a framed photo of John, his warm smile a stark contrast to the grief etching Marlena's features. It's a heartbreaking moment, evoking the enduring love that defined their epic romance. Will, ever the empathetic listener, reassures her with gentle wisdom. John is always here with us, he says, placing a hand on hers. His words a balm for her wounded heart. Their bonding is sweet and sincere, a grandmother-grandson duo sharing stories of John, laughing through tears at cherished memories. Will recounts a funny anecdote from his childhood involving John's heroic antics, lightening the mood just enough to pierce the gloom. But tranquility shatters when Marlena's infamous Queen of the Night dream resurfaces, with terrifying intensity. This recurring nightmare, a symbol of her inner demons, perhaps tied to past possessions or traumas, assaults her senses. She jolts awake from a brief doze, gasping, her face contorted in fear. The dream's details are vivid, shadowy figures, operatic arias echoing in endless halls, and a sense of impending doom. Marlena's anxiety spikes, her hands clutching the teacup like a lifeline. It's back. Stronger than ever, she whispers, her vulnerability laid bare. Will's concern deepens, he urges her to seek help, but Marlena brushes it off, determined to soldier on. This subplot weaves grief with supernatural undertones, a hallmark of Days, leaving viewers wondering if the Queen of the Night portends real danger, or is merely a manifestation of her mourning. The grand opening, Dr. Tom Horton's free clinic celebrates hope and legacy. Finally, the episode builds to a crescendo with the impending opening of Dr. Tom Horton's free clinic, a beacon of hope in Salem, honoring the legacy of one of its most beloved figures. The celebration is grand, with more guests than anticipated flocking to the venue, family members, old friends, and community leaders mingling amid balloons, banners, and heartfelt speeches. The clinic represents more than healthcare, it's a symbol of compassion, accessibility, and the Horton family's enduring commitment to service. Speeches highlight Tom's contributions, his kindness, medical prowess, and role as a moral compass for Salem. Doug Williams, ever the patriarch, delivers a moving tribute. Tom Horton didn't just heal bodies. He mended souls, applause thunders. But underlying tensions simmer, whispers of funding issues or rivalries that could jeopardize the project. As the ribbon-cutting approaches, the party swells with emotion. Characters from various storylines converge, creating opportunities for crossovers. Sami's farewell glance, Kat's distracted musings, Gwen's furtive checks on her mission. It's a fitting climax, blending joy with the ever-present drama that defines Days. And there you have it, fans, a deep dive into November 13th's episode, where every thread pulls tighter, every secret inches closer to the light. From Sami's maternal meddling to Kat's memory maze, Leo's chaotic quests, Gwen's nerve-wracking espionage, Will's comforting embrace, Marlena's haunting visions, and the clinic's triumphant launch. Salem pulses with life and intrigue. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.